something unbelievable has just rocked Hollywood. The shocking story surrounding Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the man millions grew up watching as Theo Huxtable, is now spiraling into one of the most jaw-dropping mysteries the industry has ever seen.
Actor who really brought, realness to television, playing a great character, playing a great son on The Cosby Show.
What first looked like a sudden tragedy has now exploded into whispers of secrets, hidden evidence, and powerful names that never wanted the truth to come out. And the wildest part, Ice Cube himself is stepping forward, pointing the finger directly at Hollywood's shadowy underbelly. From missing memoirs to sudden silences, this story is filled with twists that sound more like a blockbuster film than real life. But according to those closest to him, this wasn't fiction. It was Malcolm's reality. The shocking news.
With certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress.
When the first wave of headlines announced that Malcolm-Jamal Warner had passed away, the entertainment world didn't just pause. It went into shock. Fans who had grown up with The Cosby Show couldn't process the idea that the man who embodied so much charisma, talent, and quiet strength was suddenly gone. Social media flooded with grief, yet something about the story felt incomplete. There was no major press briefing, no detailed medical explanation, no investigative deep dive from big networks. The silence was deafening. And then Ice Cube, never one to sugarcoat reality, stepped into the storm. He insisted there was more to the story than people were being told. According to Cube, Malcolm's passing was not random. It was orchestrated. He alleged that there were hidden conversations, unexplained incidents, and missing files that painted a very different picture than the one being shown on television. Fans who were already suspicious began connecting dots. Why was the media so quiet? Why were close colleagues hesitant to speak? Why did it feel like the story had been wrapped up before it even began? Each unanswered question made the official narrative harder to believe, and Cube's voice only amplified the growing doubts. The memoir that shook Hollywood.
There are people showing up for me in a way that makes me a little emotional. And I don't even talk about, what the thing is.
So what was it that Malcolm was preparing to release that had so many insiders uneasy? According to those close to him, Malcolm had been working on a memoir with a chillingly accurate title, Hiding in Plain View. This wasn't the kind of book filled with lighthearted anecdotes and nostalgic memories. Instead, it was described as a project that could dismantle reputations and unravel long-protected secrets in Hollywood. Insiders revealed that Malcolm had compiled years of personal journals, confidential communications, and even private testimonies from people who had lived through the darker side of the industry. The project was said to contain details not just about Bill Cosby's alleged double life, but also about the culture of silence that had enabled powerful figures for decades. Some even claimed he possessed recordings and documents naming executives who had deliberately shielded stars and buried scandals. But the part that has fueled the most speculation after Malcolm's death, every trace of the manuscript vanished. His laptop was missing. His backup drives were reportedly inaccessible. Even his safe deposit box, where friends say he stored drafts, had been cleared out. Not a single page was found among his personal belongings. Those who had seen chapters insisted the book was real, packed with explosive revelations that would have forced Hollywood to face uncomfortable truths.
Jeff, how are you feeling about it?
Great. I'm happy we got through it. Like for 5 years, I want a series. And you never think it's gonna hit number one.
Now the fact that it disappeared so completely has only intensified suspicions that someone powerful made sure it never saw the light of day. His final days, in the weeks before his passing, Malcolm's friends noticed a drastic change. He skipped events, avoided calls, and even switched cars as if he didn't want to be tracked. He told Ice Cube directly, "They're trying to shut me up," a statement that has only grown darker in hindsight. Witnesses in Costa Rica claimed he was seen in a tense argument on the beach just hours before the tragedy, yet no official report mentioned it. And the most shocking part? His body was cremated less than 24 hours later, without family approval. That quick move erased any chance of uncovering answers, leaving fans convinced something critical was being hidden. Those closest to him described Malcolm as unusually quiet in his last days, often looking over his shoulder as if he knew something was coming. His mother later revealed he had warned her not to believe the official story if something ever happened to him. With every missing detail, the official explanation seemed weaker, while suspicions of a larger plan only grew stronger. Cosby's silence speaks volumes. What unsettled people most was the silence from Bill Cosby. While castmates and fans expressed grief, Cosby offered nothing. Not a statement, not a tribute, not even a word. For someone who had played Malcolm's father on TV for years, it was a silence that screamed. According to Ice Cube, Cosby's silence wasn't accidental. He claimed Cosby had long held power behind the scenes, controlling narratives and keeping voices quiet. When Malcolm began rejecting shady offers and distancing himself, insiders say the industry turned cold on him. After his death, Cosby's silence only deepened suspicions, leaving many to wonder what really happened between them. Even more disturbing, some insiders claimed Malcolm's career opportunities dried up almost overnight once he pulled away from Cosby's circle. Projects that were once in motion suddenly vanished, leaving him isolated. For Ice Cube and many fans, the complete lack of acknowledgement from Cosby wasn't just strange, it was the biggest red flag of all. A documentary in the making. The memoir wasn't the only thing Malcolm had in the works. Insiders claimed he was also building a documentary that would have gone even further, naming names, exposing hidden systems, and revealing how power in Hollywood was quietly managed from behind closed doors. He reportedly told Ice Cube that major networks would never let it air, and that the only way forward was to release it independently. Malcolm's plan, according to those who spoke with him, was bold. He wanted to bypass studios entirely, drop the project on platforms like YouTube, and hold private screenings that couldn't be controlled. Friends said he was excited but also visibly nervous, knowing the danger of putting such truths out in the open. What makes this more chilling is that after his death, every piece of material tied to the project disappeared. Hard drives, cameras, and notes linked to the film were suddenly gone. People close to him believe the footage still exists somewhere, locked away, and if it ever surfaces, it could shake the entertainment world to its core. Ice Cube under pressure. Since going public with his claims, Ice Cube himself has faced a wave of unsettling pushback. Strange cars have been spotted parked outside his home. Anonymous emails warned him to drop the subject, and several bloggers who covered the story reported that their accounts were flagged or mysteriously restricted. But instead of backing down, Cube has doubled down. Word is, he's quietly compiling evidence for his own project to finish the work Malcolm started. He's been consulting with legal teams, cybersecurity experts, and even independent filmmakers to protect the material. Cube's defiance has only made the situation more intense. Friends say he knows the risks, but he also feels a responsibility to expose what really happened. And the longer he stays in the fight, the more people believe he might actually have the missing pieces that could rewrite the entire story. The mother's fight. Malcolm's mother, Pamela Warner, remained silent at first, but eventually, her true feelings became clear. Sources close to her revealed she is convinced her son's passing was not a random tragedy. She reportedly told friends that in his final months, Malcolm confessed he felt like someone was tracking him, warning her not to believe the official story if anything happened. That statement alone has haunted everyone who knew him. Pamela later released a short message through a family representative saying her son lived with purpose but left with unfinished business. Those words instantly became a rallying cry for fans demanding answers. Insiders also say she has quietly spoken with independent investigators who are looking into what really happened. Her determination has fueled even more pressure on the industry to explain the strange details. For many, the fact that a grieving mother is still pushing for the truth is proof enough that something deeper is being concealed. The missing memoir and final podcast. Perhaps the most chilling detail came when Malcolm's final podcast episode resurfaced. Recorded just 48 hours before his death, it carried the haunting title, "When They Won't Let You Speak." In it, his voice sounded heavy, tired, and burdened, as if he already knew time was running out. He admitted, "There comes a point where staying quiet becomes more dangerous than speaking out. "I'm there now." Fans seized on that line immediately. Across social media, it became a rallying quote, shared thousands of times by those who believe Malcolm was preparing to blow the lid off something massive. The timing of the recording, so close to his death, has left many convinced it wasn't coincidence. Even more disturbing, friends insist that his missing memoir contained entire sections that matched the themes of this final podcast. They had seen drafts, read passages, and knew he had planned to reveal secrets about exploitation, hidden deals, and names that had never been spoken in public before. Now, both the podcast and the missing manuscript feel like the key to unlocking the entire mystery, the hidden trail. Just when it seemed like the story couldn't get any stranger, whispers began circulating about a hidden trail of evidence that may still exist. According to a former tech associate, Malcolm stored encrypted backups of his memoir in cloud storage. Cracking them would take time and legal maneuvering. But if those files ever surface, they could blow the lid off everything. Another insider revealed that Malcolm kept a handwritten journal locked away in a private studio box. Inside, they say, were outlines, chapter notes, and names that connected dots nobody was supposed to connect. That box is now reportedly tied up in a private investigation, fueling hope that the truth hasn't been erased completely. For fans, this changed everything. If these files or journals ever come to light, they wouldn't just confirm suspicions, they could rewrite Hollywood history. Suddenly, what once felt like a closed case now looks like an unfinished puzzle, with missing pieces waiting to be uncovered. So the question remains, was Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing truly an accident? Or was it something much darker, carefully designed to silence him before he could speak? The missing memoir, the vanishing evidence, the cryptic final podcast, and the eerie silence from Hollywood power players all point to a story that doesn't add up. And now, with Ice Cube refusing to back down, the pressure for answers is only getting louder. Fans aren't treating this as just another headline. They're turning it into a movement. Hashtags demanding justice continue to spread, while more insiders are quietly stepping forward with new details. Every piece of information makes the official story look weaker, and every unanswered question feels heavier. If even a fraction of what's being whispered turns out to be true, the impact could be explosive. It wouldn't just damage reputations, it could expose an entire system built on control, secrecy, and silencing those who dare to speak out. For many, Malcolm's voice didn't end with him. It's only grown stronger. But what do you think? Was Malcolm silenced? Or is this one of the biggest cover-ups Hollywood has ever seen? Drop your thoughts below, hit the like button if you want the truth to come out, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dive investigations. This story isn't over. If anything, it's just beginning.